Good evening, everybody. Welcome to What He Said with Kevin Walker. Of course, I am Kevin Walker. I'm by myself tonight. I've been gone for 2 weeks. By myself tonight. So what I'm going to do is next week and the following week, I got a lot of people who want to come on who want to be a part of what's going on, man. And hey, I'm honored. I'm flattered. I appreciate it. And over the next probably month or so, man, we'll have a lot of guests, because Worthing just had their homecoming last weekend, and I want to give those chaps at Worthing, man, lovely people, great people. I want to give them the opportunity to come on and salute their crowd and say what they want to say. And then we have Sterling, who has a homecoming coming up, like the weekend of the 21st. Is Sterling. Sterling have an alumni picnic. I mean, all the classes will come together on, October 15th at Adair, I think. Adair or Tombaz. I always get them confused. I'm sorry. But it's October 15th. I do know the date. So we're going to get people from Sterling on, people from Worthing on. We're going to give everybody the opportunity to say their say. I knew it was going to be a little slow tonight with people coming in since I've been gone for 2 weeks, but damn it, I'm back. So get y'all ass back in here. So we're going to have a fun show tonight. These topics were sent to me. I've got a lot of topics, man, like about 25 topics that's been sent to me over the past couple of weeks since I've been away. So they wanted me to discuss, does her body count really matter? So if you're a man dating a female, does the amount of people in her past matter? It's two sides of that coin, honestly. It's two ways to look at that. It's two things, two ways you can approach that. Does her body count matter? So that's what a body count is. The other position is touching your brothers. We'll talk about mentorship, reaching out to the people around you, just being a beacon of light to guys who need help in the moment. So the two topics I was sent that we'll discuss tonight, and I got one topic in the hole. Does her body count really matter? So we'll talk about the body count situation, and touching your brother, meaning being in a position of mentorship. Definitely something I know about from that perspective. And the third one that I did have for tonight, but I'm gonna hold that until I got some female guests on here. We're going to talk about what's your favorite position. I don't want to talk about favorite positions when I'm by myself sexually. Because clearly when I'm by myself sexually, my favorite position is me just on my back holding my phone with my other hand and, putting in work with the other one. So, hey, my favorite position when I'm by myself is pretty much is what it is. Thank you, Felicia. It's good to be back. Hey, Shantae, how you doing? She said, y'all body counts matter too. Hey, I didn't say it. These topics were sent to me, Shantae. What's up, Mako? I see you there, brother Mako here, tuning in from Botswana, Africa. It's 3 a.m. in the morning, man. This brother is in Africa watching the podcast at 3 a.m. Now, look. Since I mentioned my man Mako being in Botswana, Africa, watching me at 3 a.m. in the morning, let me say this. I got a phone call yesterday from Sam Johnson and another brother named David Pa Wilkes. I don't know Mr. Wilkes. It was a pleasure talking to him, though. But, man, iron does truly sharpen iron. And this brother was like, man, you got a lot of people, Kev. I don't know if you realize it, that truly, truly enjoy the podcast. We pass it around. Like, he was like, if I miss something, these boys will hit me up, be like, man, you heard your boy? Man, your boy on one tonight. Like, that's encouraging to know that people are taking that type of interest in what you've got to say, which is just an opinion. It's just one man's opinion. And I ain't saying I'm right always, but I'm saying pretty much what I give to you guys is honestly and truly how I live my life. I'm not telling you guys one thing and then I'm going to do something totally altogether different. You know, I'm really trying to give you guys honestly, like from the perspective of how I see things and how I try to approach them personally. Yeah, so we'll talk about touching your brother from a mentor perspective and does her body count? You know what? Hell, let's talk about it then. Let's start right now with the body count. Got a bunch of ladies on here. Listen, it's two perspectives you can take when you're talking about a female and her body count. Now, I know people want to say, well, man, body count. Wait, I don't date men. So there's nothing about no man on this earth that's ever existed, that's even gone on to glory, that I would honestly ever give a damn about how many women he has slept with. I could absolutely care less. But as a man who date women, the body count may not matter, but it does matter. Because I know what some guys are gonna say. Some men are gonna say, man, whatever she did in her past, bro, that's her past. I'm her present and her future. All I'm worried about is where we are and what we got going on moving forward. Hey, bro, that's a very honorable thing to say until y'all in an environment, y'all walk in somewhere and you walk up to some dudes and you she go hollering at some girls and they was like, oh, that's old such and such over there. That's old Renee. Well, I remember, boy, we used to run through Renee ass back in the day. Hey, your dude feelings hurt then. What Shantae say? If I only had 3, why should it be okay for y'all to have 20 or 30? Hey, everybody got their own perspective of it. Everybody got their own perspective, Shantae. So look, when them dudes hit your dude with, oh man, yeah, we used to run through her back. And they might, I'm sure if a man is admitting how they used to run through this particular female back in the day, like he don't know that's her dude. He's just speaking fact. He's just speaking truth on how back in the day she was a little more loose and gave everybody a chance for romance. Now, think about it from this perspective. Let's say in her high school days and immediately after high school, she was a little loose. She did get around. She did do her thing in her 18, 19s and early 20s. She did. Let's say that's absolutely true. Let's say that is a fact. But now she's 40. But now she's a virtuous woman, a woman of God. She had her fun in her young days. Now she's living her life for God. Now she's abstaining from sex until she finds that husband she wants. Should what she done at 18, 19, 20, 21, should that even matter? So let's say at 21, on the regular, she love to have threesomes. Does that make her a horrible person? That's what she enjoyed in her 20s. But the Bible even says, and I'm just going to use this as a quick example. The Bible even said, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I spake as a child. But when I became a man, but it's more so it's speaking in the masculine gender, but it's speaking to everyone that once I matured, I no longer do immature things. That's biblical. So what you do in your 18 and 19 and your early 20s, like if people are truly holding you hostage based on your 21-year-old self, then you need to find you some new people to fuck with. Let's just be real. So let me read some of these comments. Are you really comparing this to the word? I didn't compare it. I never said I'm comparing anything. I said that it is written biblically that you cannot hold someone accountable as a child for what they do once they mature. I was giving an example of something that's there. I wasn't comparing it. I never said the word compare. I never used a comparison of anything. I was saying what's in the Bible, what's biblical. What Mako got to say? Mako, it's going to raise some eyebrows, brother, regardless of when it happened. Mako, it may raise some eyebrows based on when it was happened. But I will still say, if someone is holding you to something that you did at 21, because let's be real, our government, who is the most biased thing probably in our daily lives, our government doesn't necessarily hold you long-term accountable. Because once you're incarcerated for that crime, regardless of how heinous the crime was, you're given parole or probation based on the level of crime you committed. At some point, I don't care if you had 25 years for a crime you committed on probation. At some point, you're coming off of probation. So you would think things you did young, at some point in some people's mind, you would be able to come off of a mental probation from them to proceed with who you are as a person. Now, let me speak clearly about nobody but me. I couldn't give 2, 3, 4, 5, you know what's about somebody liking or not liking. Look, I say all the time, I'm the only man in my world. I pay my bills. I get no help from nowhere other than getting my ass up every morning, going on the job, getting on these people's clock at the appropriate time, getting off their clock at the appropriate time. And every 2 weeks, the reward for me doing my part is a paycheck, is a direct deposit that I'm paid very handsomely to do. And I appreciate the company that I'm employed by because I've been doing it for 26 years. And as long as I show up, they've shown me that they're going to be faithful to their side of the deal. So let's get back to body count. Let's not get too far off track. Let's see what Terrell. What's up, T? What's up, boy? How you been? Maybe he shouldn't be dating in the neighborhood courtyard. That's true. And it's funny because somebody said to me earlier today, if that person had got out of that circle, if they had got out of that circle, wouldn't nobody have anything to say about what they're currently doing? But man, you know, sometimes we want to be the hero, T. Dude's not going to get out of that circle because a lot of time that circle is where they get that ego massaged. So they stay in that circle, and I'll give y'all an example of staying in the circle and why. You look at the dude that was the high school football or basketball star, dropping 30 and 40 a night. He the man on campus. He get a scholarship to go to the University of wherever to play major college basketball. He's an icon in the circle of Third Ward at Yates, and we're going to use Yates as the school. This is all hypothetical. So when he comes home, even on a break, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, he come back to visit the coaches, to thank the coaches, to just chop it up with the coaches. And he's on campus, and the young ladies know he on campus. They throwing themselves at him every time he show him face, every time he shows his face on campus. So now he starts to mature. This 10 years later, he might have 4 or 5 years in the league. He might have no years in the league. What I've found is that whomever people perceive you as in their moment, you are always that guy. You always the quarterback. It's 30 years later and you still the quarterback. It's 30 years later and people talking about the night you scored 4 touchdowns against Yates and y'all still lost. People still talking about it. It's women. I'm a living witness. I can show y'all I wish I could show y'all examples in my inbox without exposing people to say, I had a woman say, I've had a crush on you since, baby, this 35, we 36 years out of high school now. I need you to like me now. I don't need you to have no crush on me back from we was at Albert Thomas. We well past Albert Thomas. I need to know what you bring to the new table. Because back then I ain't had no table. I was eating off my mama and daddy table. I need to know what you bring to the new table. And that was one of my topics that I was going to discuss about for the last year and a half. There's always been table talk. What does this person bring to the table? Since Frosty, exactly. They caught up in the past and can't let it go, Felicia. What's up, Miss Tracy? How you doing, sweetie? Sometimes we have to stop looking in the rearview mirror, yeah, and allow people to pass. Your past can hurt you. Yeah, I agree. So look, men and women hold on to, because we're not going to make this a female thing. Men and women hold on to emotions, feelings, and thoughts of the past. They hold on to it. Boy, I remember when Shanika was so fine, boy, when we was at Sterling in the 11th and 12th grade, she had to be the finest on campus. That Shanika was some kind of fine boy. If I could have just, so now, boom, here comes Shamika walking to the picnic. She walking into the alumni picnic. Shanika still go work out every day. Shanika take care of herself. Shanika got, went on to get a fairly little decent education. Shanika went on and got a fairly decent little job. Shanika pull up in a Tesla. She pull up in a Tesla. Not only is the car worth $1 million, but she looking like $1 million. So with the car looking like $1 million, she looking like $1 million. You sitting there thinking, shit, fuck it. We grown now. I'm gonna shoot my shot. All she can do is tell me no. Let's be real. All she can do is say no. All she can do is say she ain't interested. All she can do is say she good. All she can do is say, boy, you crazy. You still silly like that. So all I'm saying is, whoever people perceive you as, for whatever reason they're holding on to that, that's who you are to them. I have people so often asking me, Kevin, you remember we played against? Kevin, you remember? And I'm being real. A lot of times, like Sterling wasn't my last stop when it was talking about, playing football. I played collegiately. So I don't remember a lot of guys that I played against from a high school perspective. Now I remember the guys I played with. Those some great dudes. I'd never forget them. But I don't remember people I competed against at the high school level, because I had a college career that I was afforded by my abilities from high school. So I moved on. Yeah, those were some great years, man. Yeah, and I enjoyed myself and I had fun. But what I learned from playing high school football is that my coaches that were on the high school level, I learned and I understood why they didn't coach at the next level. The only coach I had who had the ability to even go to the level from a coaching perspective and fundamentals and being sound in structure was Leon Bedford. Coach Bedford was a beast. Coach Bedford could have coached at the next level. He was fundamentally sound enough. He made sure all the little things that myself and Davenport and some other guys that were moving on, he made sure that we had everything we needed. So now, back to the body count being high, because women are still in love based on their teen crush, she running her body count up. How many people, male or female, come on ladies, how many of y'all want to walk into a party holding a dude's hand and he done smashed half the room? I'll wait. Fellas, how many of y'all want to walk into a party holding your girl hand and come to find out your girl done smashed half the room or half the room done smashed your gal? I'll wait. All I'm saying is from both sides of the table, man, as black people, we've got to do a better job of protecting our image. Like me personally, I talk on here all the time about, for me, again, this is just Kevin talking. You can agree, disagree, that's all good, fine and dandy. But for me, even right now, I'm preserving who I am and what I am for the next woman that I marry. Do I have friends? Yes, I have friends. I've been on dates. I love going on dates. We sit around and sip on something or drink some water, but hey man, I'm not smashing nothing. I'm harmless. I promise I'm harmless. And I know I'm not missing nothing because it's not like I've never had sex. Shit, I got kids. I got kids that's been biologically tested to prove that they're mine. So all I'm saying to you is, man, that body count that people want to discount, it matters. It does matter. Integrity. It's called having integrity. Let's see what you say, Miss Kelly. Do you choose me for my past or for the woman the woman I am today? Because my body count is half the battle of my past. That's a great question. But let me say this. Hold on, let me read these other questions and I'm gonna come back to you, Miss Randy. Hold on 1 second. So Mako says, but why was people running up body counts in the first place? Was it on emotional response or psychological response to a greater or underlying stimulus? Felicia Williams said, just don't do those familiar places where you know you have sexed half the folks. Oh my God, half the folks in the room. How about just not sexing? How about just, I'm gonna come back to you too, Felicia. Ron Love said, our community is small. We are most definitely going to share a woman that, yeah, Ron. So I'm gonna answer Ron, then I'm gonna go back to Randy. Ron, look, for me, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. But I don't think there's anything wrong with one or two. There's nothing wrong with, yeah, we dated one or two of the same women. We end up in that same circle. But brother, when we getting into the tens, and I know people are going to say, again, they going to say it, Ron, like, why does that matter? So you're telling me that it don't matter when you walk in the room, when you, okay, Sterling Homecoming coming up. Sterling Homecoming coming up. So you're telling me you come back to Homecoming, you 45 years old, you bring in, you know, you and your little lady friend walk in, and it's 10 niggas in the room that ran through your lady. Boy, shut up. Who else done done that? So Ron Love told me about 3 years ago, I walked up at homecoming. He said, man, how do you seem to, I ain't going to even say it though, Ron. I'm going to let you type it if you want to say it. Ron said, some people I know don't let their wives come to homecoming for that reason. No, you're right, bro. You're absolutely right. Leanna said, now that's a problem for homecoming. All right, let me go back real quick to Miss Randy. I told her I was going to come back and answer her question. She said, question, do you choose me for my past or for the woman I am today? Because my body count is half the battle of my past. You're absolutely right, Randy. But I think it's tad bits and pieces of both. I think as men, we don't really want to know. Like, we don't really want to know as men. Keep that shit as private and as non-public as freaking possible. The last thing I want to know, because ladies, we don't believe you when you start saying, oh boy, I ain't suck his dick. I don't do nothing like that. Nah, that ain't me. But you quick to on me. But you want to convince me. How about we just don't even have these conversations? How about you just leave that alone and don't offer nothing to the conversation if you gonna lie about it? Just don't even talk about it. Just don't bring it up. Because the last thing anybody want to know, the last thing you want to kiss is another woman's vagina area. So did you go down on her like you do me? Because that's a question women ask when they found out you done cheated. Do you do to her what you do to me? Any man who's ever cheated has been asked that question. That woman love you. She don't love you for no reason. I'm just saying. Okay, let me read these statements. So Shantae says, Run Love, no real woman would let that happen. Let what happen? Mako says, come out of Harris County. And yeah. Hey, Mako saying get outside the county. Shantae said, so it's okay for y'all to run through everyone, but don't want to tell the woman what you have done. That's ridiculous. That's why I'm saying stay away from those conversations, Shantae. Are you listening to me, mama? I'm saying don't have those conversations either way. Either way. Either way, don't have those conversations, because I don't want to know that you came to the South and let the click run through. That's what Lil Kiki said. That she came to the South and we let the click run through. I don't want to know that Lil Kiki was rapping about your old ass in the club. So this is when Kiki and them was in their early 30s, they 32, 33, you 40, 41, you still partying with the youngsters, you still dick riding, y'all boppers, and girl, you 40. Your choice of bopperness has just changed from elbows and vogues to chrome and foreign. So now he got a 4-door Mercedes, a G-Wagon. So now he's got the EXT Escalade, the extended version, all black, blacked out smoking windows, limousine tint you can't see in. That's $100,000 vehicle. He got big house because he's showing it on Instagram. And come on. Yeah, it's women still out here falling for the okie doke and bullshit matters in their 50s, in their late 40s, running up the body count still. Yeah, they're boppering this, Randy Kelly. They're boppering this. They still running up their body count in their 40s and 50s. When you gonna chill? Craig Walker, what's up, big homie? Let me see what my boy Craig said. That's a Sterling Ray. That was Big D Lyman right there. Big D Lyman, Craig White. See what Craig said. If you mature enough, it shouldn't matter because I'm pretty sure it wouldn't compare to me. Yeah. That's why I say, hey, when I first started, if y'all go back and check the live, when I first started, I say it's two sides. It's two sides to that question. That's what made that question a great question. Does her body count really matter? Okay, let's see what Shantae got to say. Let's see what Shantae got to say. I'm sorry, the conversation needs to be had. What conversation need to be had? If I'm going to choose someone and my body count is 3, then I need to know I can choose it. Okay, so Shantae, let me ask you this, mama. Serious question. You mind telling us your age? You mind typing your age in the bottom of this page right here? It matters. Yeah, okay, I got you. But can you tell us your age? Can you type your age? Because we want to have real conversation. You're 40. So I want to ask you a serious question along with everybody else that's watching right now. I want to ask everybody the same question I'm finna ask Shantae. So at 40 years old, if your body count is 3, what number should be in comparison to your 3? Do you want that man to be under 10? I know you're not expecting him just to have 3 like you have 3, but if that's your desire, I can't say you're wrong. If your desire is to find a mate who has 3 like you have 3, me personally, I just think that's unrealistic. I'm not saying that you're not going to find it. I'm not saying it can't happen because I know someone, and I can't specify who, married a man that was a 60-year-old virgin, had never had sex with a woman or man, nobody, wasn't gay, just was true to himself and had never been married, had put his career and everything else before his personal needs and say, I'm not having sex until God sends me the woman of my desire. Most men have a 300 body count. So you're saying not 20 plus. I mean, I'm just, okay. Okay, so let's read Keisha's comment. Let me scroll back down to Miss Keisha. If body count is a problem, why even be interested in that person? If a woman has 4 kids and 4 different men, you already know part of the body count, so why go any further with that when with what she's bringing to the table? So Shantae says, run, love, what the hell? Oh, I'm going to be single and celibate for the rest of my life. Hey, maybe anyway, Shantae. Maybe anyway. You know, so, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, though, either. There's nothing wrong with that. Randy Kelly says, I just want to talk about our next vacay spot. So Ron said, if he wore a condom, the number gets lowered. Oh, my God. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I need a female. I need Jessica back. Where the hell is Jessica tonight? I need a woman back to talk about this body count shit again with me. Where the hell is Jessica? I tried to get Shantae to come on. She didn't want to come on camera, but, you know, she going to let y'all ass have it in the comments. Run, love the lie, sir. So, Shantae, I'm going to address what Ron says. So, if you sleep with a man and you guys use a condom, you're saying that counts regardless because that man penetrated you. So that's a count for both of y'all. She said, I'm at the gym. No, I told you about 3 weeks ago. Won't you come on with me? And I inbox you and say we can do it this way and that way. All right, so let's get off the body count. We're gonna revisit body count in a couple of weeks though. I'm gonna get me some female. I know I'm gonna get Randy Kelly because she willing to talk about the body count shit. I might have to go back to Anissa. I know Anissa, I don't know. Anissa all booed up now. Shit. She might not want to talk about this shit being booed up. So now she says, I said, yes, but you did. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. All right, well, I'm gonna get back at you and I'm gonna make sure we get you in. So let's talk about touching your brother. It's not a sexual conversation. We're talking about mentorship. We're talking about the conversation of iron sharpens iron. Here's something like, if you go to my page on Facebook, a brother tagged me in a comment about Little League football and reaching out to other people and bringing people in. And look, back in the day, I wanted to personally surround myself, even right now still, I want to surround myself with people who can make me better in every aspect of life. I know Terry come on here, Terry talk a lot of shit, Terry crack a lot of jokes, but at the end of the day, Terry's gonna hold me accountable for my actions and my bullshit. What's up, Sam? So my thought process has always been through my years in Little League football, where I brought guys like Sam in, I brought guys like Tim Waynes in, Adley Prince, Patrick Bishop, David Pringle, just all the guys who came into the organization that I was president of, that I had founded in the late 1990s, and we became a powerhouse based on, number one, our relationship and respect for each other. First and foremost, we never ever let parents drive a wedge between what we had going on. Number one, we were true to each other as men. So when parents know that there's a leak in the building, instead of helping repair it, what I've found from parents, they'll help open the floodgates to tear your shit up quicker than they will to help you fix an issue. So even if a parent came back to me and say, Sam said, or Bishop said, or this person said, I never ever confronted that individual, because number one, you've got to know the character of the man that you're surrounding yourself with. And that's why I said, regardless of any situations in life, is some people that you're not going to force out of my circle, because I respect conversation with them. I respect where they're coming from with their conversation and with their advice 90+% of the time. They get way more passes than they get fails from me. Iron sharpens iron. I've sat on the phone sometimes, just be real, like I'm gonna be transparent. It really ain't none of y'all business, but I'm gonna be transparent. Like I've sat on the phone with Sean Eaglin for hours, talking about family, talking about kids. Man, what I gotta do to be a better father. Sam, what I gotta do to love on my babies more than what I'm loving on my babies. Or Sam encouraging me to keep loving on little Kevin the way I love on little Kevin and Landon. Because I've said this before as a daddy, right? When I left my son's game tonight, we were all at Landon's football game. When we left, little Kevin came in town because he had never seen his little brother play middle school football. So he surprised him at the game tonight to come see his little brother play. That's fucking unity. That's because for me as a daddy, I've never preached nothing in my house but togetherness. Let's support each other. Let's be real with each other. Let's push each other to be the best people that we can be. And I respect my son for using his personal leave from the Air Force to come in town to be a part of what his little brother have going on. It meant a lot to me as a daddy for us to be sitting in the stands, my ex-wife included, supporting our baby boy, supporting the little brother, watching him run touchdowns. Because it all starts in the home. Home training, mentorship. Being a dad is nothing but being a mentor. You've got to be present as a man in your boy's life to show them how to lace up their work boots, to show your boys the difference between a flathead and a Phillips screwdriver. To show your boys the difference between an alternator and a starter. To show your boys the difference between lettuce and a cabbage. And why that matters. People are going to always try and chip away and tear down what ain't stable. For some reason, that's the nature of man. They want to tear down what doesn't show stability. What you talking about, Kevin Walker? I'm glad you asked. The number one thing on TV now that everybody gravitate to watch is reality TV. And if that ain't the messiest shit in the world, what is? Let me read some of these comments, man. I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna come back to mentorship because mentorship is very, very, very necessary. And it's not about mentorship just to kids, but them kids got to start in your home. You build a house one brick at a time. If you've ever sat back and watched the mason work, man, they go one brick at a time, putting the cement around it, boom, grab the next brick. One brick at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Trust the process. Trust the process. Everybody ain't as dirty as we try and make them seem sometimes. Everybody not as dirty as we try. Just because you and that dude's relationship didn't work, hey man, don't bash me, it didn't work, it happens. The word divorce was not invented for Kevin Walker. Me and my ex just didn't work. She moved on. I'm happy for her. I hope she happy with whatever she found in her situation. Because I'm still, well, we ain't going to talk about mine, but yeah. So let me go back and read some of these comments. Shantae says, I can tell you as a pediatric RN, girl, you trying to put your little credentials out here to show us up or something? She said, I can tell you as a pediatric RN for the last 2 years, I have had little boys who have tried to harm or kill themselves. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They have no male or no role model they can turn to. Addressing and correcting this issue when a person is a child will grow into mature men. You're right. You got to correct it early. Who reciprocated that behavior. No, you're absolutely right. See what my man Sean Eaglin said? Those are the priceless conversations. Yes, sir. They are to me, brother. I love them. I ain't going to lie to you. Felicia says it starts in the home. It does start in your own home. Craig said that's installments. Y'all put them in. Yeah, yes, sir. Randy Kelly says that's a learned behavior and most young men aren't privy to it. I agree. But your son is going to be privy to it If y'all stick to the plan that y'all got laid out for him, Randy, I promise, if y'all stick to the plan, you get him in the military, and I'll tell you why privately, from me to you, we can talk, and I'll tell you why I say the military is the best thing for a young man. Ron Love said they have to want it as much as you do. Ron, I want to talk to you about that. Felicia Williams said drama. Yeah, that is drama on them damn reality TV. Here in Botswana, I do work with several NGOs dealing with issues from GBV, and my outreach in particular is dealing with boys and young men in the realm of mentorship in order to curtail their potential of becoming a perpetrator. So many broken homes. You're right, Felicia. So let's talk about Ron, what Ron said. Ron, I don't know if you have sons, but your comment says they have to want it as much as you do. I disagree. They don't have to want it. They don't have to want it as much as I do. But that's why I'm a coach. That's why as a coach, Sean Eagler, Sam Johnson, not only are coaches, but have boys who participate. Sometimes they get a little in the dumps. Sometimes they don't want it as much as you. But as a father, you take all the bullshit options off the table. The thing I preach to my boys about sports and athletics is have fun. Have fun. If you're not having fun, daddy don't even want you to do it. Daddy don't even want you to play. My baby last night was running a fever. His mama was like, I don't know if he's going to school today. I don't know if he's going to be able to play in that game tomorrow. I'm like, say, man, I don't give a damn about no game. If he ain't feeling well, if he's got a fever, then he don't need to go anyway. He's in the 8th grade. Football gonna be there for the rest of his life if he want to play it, some form of it, it'll be there. So I could care less about a fever. Let's cure the fever. Let's get the illness out of his body first, and we'll address everything else down the line. But as a coach, as a daddy, you don't make decisions and choices in my house. Now, what I'll do, if you're feeling some kind of way, we can have a conversation about why you feel like you feel. But the one thing, and I wish my ex-wife would just come on here one time, we had an agreement in our home. She handled the academics and I handled the athletics. I wasn't going to get in her wheelhouse and she wasn't going to come try to spend the night in mine. We were going to respect each other's boundaries when it came to raising positive young men. So the one thing my oldest son knew for a fact, whether he chose to go play at Air Force or not, when we went on that recruiting trip, that probably was just a blessing in disguise. But the one thing I had always preached, and she can tell you, is that if you don't get a scholarship to go play football in college, you go into the military. I'm not going to let my 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old son roam the fucking streets of crazy-ass Houston, Texas without a future. If you don't have a plan, I got one for you. Because there is no way you can tell me as a parent, as a 35, 45, 55-year-old parent, that your 18-year-old grandson or son know what's best for them. If you believe an 18-year-old know what's best, you're a fucking idiot. You don't deserve to have kids. If you're going to let a child tell you instead of conversate with you, now we can have a conversation and it better make good damn sense about what you would like for your future plans to be. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to compromise. But you better have a plan. You better have some positive feedback about your direction for the next 10, 15 years, or I'm going to give you some. And mine is not going to be debatable. We ain't going to debate about mine. So that was drilled into my oldest son from the time he started playing Little League football. Hey, boy, you better hope this works into a scholarship. If not, you're going to be marching in formation. You're going to be in formation. And he knew what that meant. He knew what that meant. So it was a blessing when we were invited to attend the Lightning Camp in Colorado Springs, Colorado, up in the mountains at the Air Force campus. Beautiful campus. If you ever get a chance to go to Colorado Springs, Colorado, and visit the campus, do it. Even if your baby ain't interested, do it. It's worth it. I promise it's worth it. I promise it's worth it. But mentorship and leadership for a man, that starts in your house. And what your woman, what your lady, what your wife, what your helpmate has to do is be strong enough, because I know it's tough, ladies. I know it's tough because y'all are nurturers by nature. What she has to do is be able to step away sometimes and allow you to dig deep in that young man's heart and ass at the same time. Let's see what Sam got to say. I'm raising men now. The conversation is different. I do more encouraging and listening. Yeah, exactly. I do more encouraging and listening now more than ever. Their journeys are totally different than mine. Yeah, you got to love your sons. Love on your sons. Yeah. Ron Love says, I retired after 30 years of government service and have been married for 30 years as well. It's been rough, but we made it. Sons are 26, 20. Yes, sir. That's a blessing, Ron. That's a blessing. And you are truly blessed, brother, to have a wife that long and one that loves you and one that'll listen, man. My hat go off to you. Let's see what Miss Shantae says. Ron Love, I understand. My youngest son, who just graduated this year, and he said, Mom, don't send me to college. I don't like school. I'm going to go. Oh, if he go to school, he gonna party. Okay. So he chose welding school. He graduates in February and is going overseas to work. Cool. That's all I'm saying, Shantae. That's all I'm saying, Mama, is it gotta be a plan. So Felicia says, Kev, you are an amazing parent. However, some of these parents are allowing the kids to, now you can't, hey, if you allow a child to rule your house, shame on you. Whomever that may be, Felicia. So Shantae is back. She said, love Colorado Springs. I went for my birthday last year. I was right by the Air Force. Yeah. Also, if you go, then you Garden of Gods. Okay. Incredible. So Mako said, as a child, you have no right to my house. Exactly. Exactly, Mako. You can't give kid, man. How do an 18-year-old know what's best? How do it? Let me tell y'all something. And this is what I'm gonna close out the show with. I'm gonna say this, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Had I known at 18 what I know now, God forbid, and I know they've been nothing but a blessing in my life, I probably wouldn't have kids. Because the one thing I wouldn't have do is sown my seed not being married. Now, my boy's mom, I was married to. My daughter, Jade, me and her mom was not married. But that's neither here nor there. Jade was here. God called her home. God loaned her to me, and God took her back. So that changed me as a man. That changed me as a person. Man, look, I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to talk down on nobody. I don't even want to be in a negative circle. Well, people got something to say negative. I don't want those kind of people around me, and I don't want that kind of energy around me. I don't. I love it when me and Sean Eaglin chop it up out the blue on a Tuesday at 2:30 when I'm driving home and he making it in. When Sam just hit me up out the blue, hey, big bro, I was just calling to check on you, man, see how your day was going. Love it. I love it. I love it. I'm just being real. I love it. Me and Terry almost check on each other on the daily. But if I could turn back the hands of time, because now I realize at 54 what an amazing God we serve, and that the plan has been in place. But society and parenting allowed us to kind of sort of use our own mind and divert from the plan. Diversion from God's plan is an error. Sowing your seed because you want to is an error. So if I could preach anything or say anything, and I'm not a preacher, but if I could say anything to a room of young men, if I could tell these young men anything about life, take care of your academics, take care and have the ability to be a sponge. Tell AJ, Randy, have the ability to be a sponge of both positive and negative behaviors. The reason why you have to take in both positive and negative behaviors is because you've got to know what not to do to others. Do unto others exactly. Man, don't shit on people. Be a good person to people. If somebody shit on you, and it's bound to happen, it's going to happen one way or another, it's going to happen, say, man, go wash it off and move around. Now, I'm not saying go back and let them do it again. When they call, hey, boy, what's up, boy? I ain't seen you. You ain't been through. Like, nah, man, shit, I'm just moving different. I got something else going on in my life. I got to take care of me a little better. Hey, you ain't even got to call them on it because you've ridded that person from your circle. You've ridded that person from your circle. You ain't got to, man, that's a motherfucker. You ain't got to do all, don't even get your blood pressure up. One of the phenomenal things that I've learned as I've become a man, one of the most phenomenal things that I've learned since I've become a man is to protect my peace at all costs. Hey man, if she don't move how you move, then she ain't for you. I don't care how much you love her. I don't care how good she give head. I don't care how wet that thing get. If she don't move how you move, then she ain't for you, brother. Protect your peace at all costs. If a woman is sharing something with you and you know it ain't right, say, man, be honest with her. Hey, man, I don't care about that. That's bullshit. I could care less. That's not important to what I have going on right now. I can make decisions in my life. Because in my world, Big D, what's up, homie? My boy Big D, that's another word than dude. I'm the only person who pay my bills, Big. Sam, I'm the only person who pay my bills. Craig Walker, I'm the only person who pay my bills, bro. I don't have no financial assistance. So I can make decisions that I feel like are best for me and me only. Because at the end of the day, if I don't eat, I just don't eat. I'm not married. There's nobody in my world but me. I live alone in my own home. So if you don't move how I enjoy a female to move, if you don't move in that manner, that ain't peace. That's deuces. I'm out. I'm out. Hey, man. Love y'all, man. Thank y'all for the support. Next Wednesday night, I'm going to have a couple of beautiful young ladies on, Miss Nikki. And well, I ain't going to even tell y'all. I'm going to have a couple of beautiful young ladies on next week, man, that we're going to talk relationships again, but also from a female perspective. So y'all come back. Y'all come back, man, next Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. We're going to do our best to start on time, and we're going to be here for an hour. Honestly, I only planned on going about 45 minutes tonight, but say, man, when God put stuff on your heart, when God put things on your heart and you speaking from your heart, man, and you being honest with people, man, like, look, I ain't gonna never sugarcoat or try to get over on y'all with coming on this podcast, trying to say shit for clicks, trying to say shit so people are like me. I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna speak my truth. If it's fucked up and I'm wrong, I'm sorry. It's how I feel. But I'm not costing anybody anything to support the podcast. I ain't giving you no picks to go, spend no money on no football games. I'm just coming in here talking me, hoping that I say something that'll give you a different perspective on how to handle some situations in your life. Now, I went to Madden, Ron Love. I went to Madden. Reagan Webb Madden. At the end of Thrush and Crestmont. We were the Road Runners. Orange and white. Road Runner for life. Hey, man, God bless y'all. For real. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all come back and tune in with me next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. for What He Said with Kevin Walker, featuring Kevin Walker. God bless y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good week.